says, my wife's foot hurts us. Can you hear? It's not her foot, my foot. It's our foot, and our foot is hurting us. That, my friends, is basar echad. That's what we're going to want to get to. While we're dating, what we're trying to do is establish the person who can be our ezer kenegdo. That's the beginning, right? That's the goalpost on one end, and our basar echad are one flesh by the other. That is what we are looking for. Are we looking for someone who's fun? Yeah, good looking. It helps. I'm not going to lie to you. You need someone you are attracted to, because you're going to have to wake up every morning for many, many years, see that face, that punim looking at you, and you got to say, Moda ani lefanecha. Thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. You got to look at that face. I'm not going to lie. But it can't just be that. If that's all it is, my friends, if it's the person that's most fun, and let's be honest, I have had the honor of performing maybe 150 weddings at this point, right? And all of them have challenges in their first year. Shana Rishona, they have challenges in. There's no doubt about it, right? It takes hard work. There's many mitzvot about the first year of marriage. There's no doubt about it. Shana Rishona. And all of them have struggled, and all of them had difficulties. And they turn around like, Rabbi, I don't understand. When we first met, everything was amazing. He was so cute and so lovely. And she was so nice. And he used to open the door. And now the socks are on the floor, underwear stuck in the sink, right? And he's drooling in the middle of the night. And all the unfortunate noise he's making. And it's up. I'm like, that's what you're looking for. Who's the person? Because eventually the looks are important, but they take on less importance, you know? And the fun is good, but it's not all fun. And the intimacy is important, right? Emotional and other intimacy. But eventually, most of your life is, are we creating something together? Are we in this business together? And let's be honest, most marriages fail. 50% or more of marriages fail in the United States today. So how do you, if you're going to get, I mean, I've never had anyone stand at a chuppah with me and say like, Rabbi, we want this marriage to last for 1 year and then, dayenu. A 1 year marriage is all we need. That's it, dayenu. No one ever says that. Imagine that, right under the chuppah, right? And your wife leans over and says, this will be done in 12 months. Not a good sign. We all think we can stay married for months and years, right? So how are we going to maximize our chances of success? And most people just jump in, don't they? Most people just get married without thinking about it. Right? You wouldn't do that with a job, right? You go to college, you prepare for your career. If you want to work in an industry, a lawyer, doctor, it takes time to prepare. This takes time to prepare as well. Your life actually is divided into two parts, PM and AM, pre-marriage and after marriage. And everything you're doing until you're standing under the chuppah is there to prepare you for that moment. And everything that happens afterwards, and when I say everything, I mean everything, every irritation, every struggle, every challenge, you name it, was there to prepare you for that marriage. And then afterwards is there to maintain it, right? Which is, by the way, just as hard, if not harder. And that's your life. I know most of you divide your life by before college, after college, before law school, after law school, before my first million, after my first million, but that's not the real division of life. The real division of life is pre and after marriage. That's the crease that actually folds your life together. And everything goes into it and then examines afterwards. Okay, with that 20-minute introduction, I've got a million more things to tell you, but I'll keep going until they pull me off Zoom. Let's look at some habits when it comes to dating. So I'm going to start with finding common goals, right? That's what you're really looking for. There was a Gallup poll a few years ago, and they wanted to figure out what was the reason that people ended up getting divorced. What was the main factor? And only 5% said physical abuse, 10% said arguments over money, family, or children. By the way, money is something which is its own topic. We're going to have a whole discussion just on money and relationships a little bit later. It takes a long time to figure out money and finances and shalom bayit when it comes to money. By the way, you know the secret to shalom bayit? My wife asks me for something, I buy it, we have shalom. That's a good joke. I hope you appreciated it. I'll be here all night. Enjoy the chicken. 17% say infidelity. 16% because of alcohol or drug abuse. 47% attributed their divorces to incompatibility. What does that mean? You need to have the same vision. Where are we going? What am I doing this for? Why am I getting married anyway? What is my goal? Where do I want to see myself in 5 years, in 10 years? People don't discuss these questions. If they do, it's very, very late in the relationship. Very, very late. These stuff needs to be discussed early. Listen, if you're 17, 18 and dating for fun, these questions aren't important. I'm talking to the people who are thinking in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. By the way, age over here is a number. I deal with people in their 40s who have the emotional stability when it comes to relationships of a 22-year-old. And I deal with guys and girls who are 19, 20, who are mature and just kind of get it, you know? Maybe they're born with it, maybe it comes from their family, but it's a learnable skill. Marriage and the dating that takes you into that realm is a learnable skill. You can learn how to do it right. There's things you do and there's things you don't do. There's a great report over here. You won't believe this, or maybe you will. It came from Reuters. I actually put it in my book and said that what's happened, unfortunately, in our day and age is that people are dragging their feet on getting married. The average age of marriage maybe 40 years ago was, I think, 24, 25. And now it's 28, 29 for a girl. And we know for a lot of men, right, unless they're in the Orthodox world, 30, 31, 32, and even in that world as well. People are pushing it off. And they, unfortunately, describe most dating relationships as a quasi-wife or quasi-husband. That's what most people are in. I'm kind of married, but I'm not really married. I'm in a relationship. And we just go on and on and on. And if I tell you how many emails and calls I get, people like, we're dating for 2 years, we're not ready, maybe we're the 3rd year, and it just goes on and on and on, right? Let me ask you this. Would you ever dream of going into your friend's wallet or pocketbook and taking money out? Would you ever dream of breaking into a close friend's house, stealing things from their home, taking their television, their flat screen, their iPhone, and selling it? You would never do that. You would never steal from a friend. You know what Judaism considers more important than things, than objects, than money? You know the answer. Time. Time. Stealing time is worse than stealing things because things can be returned, but time cannot. And therefore, this dating experience that we're seeing today, and we've all been involved in it, unfortunately, dating for months and years. I mean, I know people who date 4, 5, 6, 9 years. This is insanity. You can crunch it down. It's unfair. You're stealing people's time, right? We have to, at some point, jump in. And we learn this from a very interesting episode in the Torah, which on the face of it has nothing to do with dating whatsoever. It's the splitting of the Red Sea. We know the water of the Red Sea was in front of the Jewish people. And behind the Jewish people were the Egyptians. So imagine 7 days after leaving Egypt, we have the Egyptians behind us ready to kill us. And in front of us, we have the Red Sea. And we were trapped. As far as we were concerned, we were all going to die. Says the Torah, you know what marriage, finding a marriage partner and getting married and being married is like? That moment of being trapped at the Red Sea. Why? Because there are going to be points in your relationship where you're going to feel trapped, whether you're dating or you're married. And it's not the yams of the Red Sea in front of you, it's your parents. And it's not the Egyptians behind you, it's your in-laws. You know what I'm talking about. And what happened? How did the sea split? So if you watch the movie, read the book, it's better. We know that Moses put his staff out and a wind came that had been blowing the whole night and split the sea. The Gemara tells us, the Talmud tells us, actually it was something else that happened. There was a great Jew, a prince of the tribe of Yehuda, of Judah. His name was Nachshon ben Aminadav. And do you know what he did? He walked into the water before anybody else. and the water went up to his ankles and his knees and his waist, up to his throat, and it was covered his mouth, and it was about to cover his nose. Then the staff went out, the sea split, and we all went through, we all got saved. That, say the rabbis, is the secret to any good relationship. At some point, you can pray, which we're going to talk about. It's an important thing to do. But at some point, you just have to jump in and the sea split. And at that point, you need to have a good sense of humor. Because when you deal with parents and in-laws, as the old joke goes, what's the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. I'm only kidding. I have wonderful in-laws, thank God. I think my mother-in-law's watching this class. Friends, at some point, you just have to jump in. It takes courage, finding compatibility, and then at some point, jump in. People always ask me, how do you know? At what time is a good time? I'm going to give you, actually, a real time frame. And this is not the same for everyone, but this is a good general time frame. I'm talking about real, serious, emotional, intimate dating, where you really get to know the person, not just like hanging out and go to movies all the time, restaurants, vacations, like really getting to know the person. Because I know people who date for months and years and don't know each other. I know people who are married for years and don't know each other. Actually, a good friend of ours got divorced, and she said, I was married for 15 years, I never really knew him. You hear that statement a lot. They're being honest. They never really got to know each other. There was no emotional intimacy. And you know what intimacy is? Intimacy equals into me you see. Intimacy is into me you see. People willing to open themselves up, become vulnerable. That is not easy. That's a very scary thing to do. It takes time, effort, and sometimes usually a third party to coax that out of you. And that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build that intimacy so that we're able to jump in. And how long does that take? Don't get too shocked. Don't jump out of the Zoom or the Facebook Live class. 6 months. 6 months, you know. 6 months. I don't say you have to get married after 6 months, right? I mean, Hasidim do. I mean, they get married after 1 month or one date. Okay, that's not for us. But 6 months, let's be honest. If you're honest with yourself, you know by 6 months. And if there's any red flags, they appear. And every divorce I've been involved in and counsel people with, they always say, there is no exception. I saw red flags when we were dating very early on, but I ignored them because I was in love. I was in love. You know? Actually, falling in love when you get married is a dangerous game to be. I'll explain why. Let's talk about love a little bit, because we're going to be dating. Everyone wants to fall in love. What's the Hebrew word for love? What's the Hebrew word for love? It's ahava. Ahava. Now, for most people, ahava is a cream being sold by Israelis in the malls around New York and New Jersey. Well, before it was a highly overpriced cream being sold by extremely pushy Israelis making a lot of money in the mall business, it was an idea. What is the idea of ahava? So the rabbis tell us the word ahava has a shoresh. Every Hebrew word has a shoresh, a root that reveals the essence of the word, and therefore the idea. Actually, Hebrew is the only language where the word for a word and the word for a thing are the same. It's a davar, a davar. Okay, a word and thing are the same. So any word helps us understand what that thing is. And love is no exception. I'll give you another example, actually. What's the Hebrew word for a face? Is a panim. A panim is a face. Now, the same letters panim, pei, nun, yud, mem, also spell panim inside. So the word for a face is the same word for panim inside. Why would the word for a face be the same for the word inside? My face isn't inside, it's on the outside. Well, how do you know how someone's doing? You don't look at their hand, all right, or their knee or their foot, look at their face. You look at a person's face, you know how they're doing inside. If I walk in like this, you know I'm happy. If I walk in like this, you know I'm sad. My panim reflects my panim. Your face reflects your insides. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with each other. Have you ever met a guy or a girl and thought, wow, they are so beautiful. Look at that girl. She is gorgeous. She's so pretty. Or a guy, oh, he's so good looking. And then you get to know them a little bit. You get to know their opinion, their insides, and they're not nice people. Actually, they're downright awful. And actually their face changes. Their panim reflects on their panim and they become ugly. You ever experienced that before? Or the other way around. You meet some girl and think, oh, she's so ugly. Look at that guy. Oh my God, I can't look at him. Put a bag on his head. And then you get to know them. You get to know their panim, and they're really nice people, and it shines on their face, and they actually become better looking. Their face changes. They become better looking. My wife says, when she first met me, okay, never mind. Panim, by the way, the word for face is from the Latin word, I think it's Latin, facade, pure exterior. It's not for us. How do I know this is true? The Hebrew words are revealing it to me. Okay, a dog is a kelev. Kolev, all heart, man's best friend. Everything in this world can be brought down to the blueprint of the Hebrew letters that are assigned to it. Another class, not for now. I mentioned because the Hebrew word is ahava. The word ahava doesn't just mean love, it means have to give. The more you give, the more you love. Therefore, while you're dating, what you're really looking for, besides good looks and a nice career and all the other stuff that we're obsessed with, which are important, I'm not going to put them away, you're looking for someone who is a giver. And how can you tell that? Well, what are they like while you're dating? Are they respectful? Do they give you time? Do they talk nicely about other people? Are they giving to you? Do they have patience? How do they deal with a waiter or waitress? How do they treat the guy or the girl in the parking lot? Right? You know the guy who gives the tickets? And you're like, here's my ticket. And then a guy comes after you and gives their ticket and they get their car first. And the guy or girl would say, hey, I was here first. Like, wait 1 second. Maybe your car was parked behind. All these are indicators. All these are indicators of who the future person you're with is going to be. You cannot change the person you're going to be. You can only change yourself, as we said. You're looking to become your Ezer Kenegdo, improve yourself. That, my friends, is what we're looking for. So we're looking to become givers. Who is a great giver? Because in the end, I mean, let's be honest, what is relationship and marriage? In the end, it's just free giving. No one's going to pay you to out the garbage. No one's going to pay you to change a diaper. No one's going to change you, take care of your kids. It's all voluntary work. And therefore, you want to establish whether the person you're with is someone who is a giver or a taker. Now, we all give sometimes and we all take. We're trying to figure out the essence of the person. And that's why I tell everyone, one of the best things you should do while you're dating, while you're a single person, everyone should, 1 hour of voluntary work a week. And if not 1 hour, half an hour or 10 minutes. But it's a given. The week is not going to pass without me doing a little bit of voluntary work, not paid, just selfless giving, because eventually all the hours of all your days are going to be full of it. So you've got to flex that muscle as early as possible. A great habit of a successful dater is looking for someone who is a giver. And that is something you can see. Are they selfish? Are they a taker? Or are they a giver? That's the secret to ahava, the secret to love. Let's go back to our couple for just 1 minute. With that information on board. Now, remember we started this discussion with a couple. And I was counseling them. And she wanted to get married within a year or so. And he was looking 4 or 5 years. And then I said, if you were to break up right now, how upset would you be? And she said 10 out of 10. And he said, I'd only be 6 out of 10 if we broke up right now. And when you heard that, you thought, what a terrible guy. He's not terrible. What does that show me? What does that teach me? Tell you what it teaches me. The guy had been given and had been giving, but not as much as her. He'd been invested in the relationship, but only 6 out of 10. She had been invested 10 out of 10. He was only invested 6 out of 10. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a reality. There's always going to be a give and take. So when he said that if I were to break up right now, I'd be kind of upset, but not totally upset. It was just revealing to me, and more importantly to her, that she'd given a lot more to the relationship, which is why when they broke up, which eventually they did, I mean, of course, they broke up, got back together again, in, out, shake it all about. You know, they went through the breakup and then the stalking on Facebook and social media and unfriending, then refriending, and they got together again, eventually broke up. Of course. By the way, whatever happened to that couple? She ended up getting married very soon after. Very soon after she got married, thank God. She has 2 kids now. and he's living with his girlfriend. So I think they both got what they wanted in the end. Giver or taker. That's the essence. That's what we're looking for. Because in the end, it's all voluntary work. There's a couple of challenges we have, though. I don't know how long I have over here. Sarah B. or Esther or Rabbi Ruba, you tell me when to.
We're good, Rabbi.
We're good. Okay. Few more ideas. And then I'll let you go to your quiz this evening or the rest of your evenings. We do have a challenge which we have 2020, which our ancestors, our parents, and definitely our grandparents did not have. And what's that? What's that? We have a disease today, and the disease is called TMC. Listen very carefully. TMC. What does TMC stand for? Too much choice. Too much choice. You see, our grandparents or great-grandparents back in the shtetl in Europe or back in the old city or town in Syria, Persia, Iraq, Bukhara, wherever you're from, it was always the same. How did you get married? Well, first of all, you were young. I mean, really young. Your parents said, there's a nice girl over there. There's a nice guy over there. We think you should get married. Now, they couldn't force you because that's against halakha, but that's the way it was, right? And you can't, and if you were really an impressive person from a rich family, you got to choose someone from the next town, right? The next town. But abroad, another country, forget that. You were stuck. You were limited. Now, 2020, pre-corona, but 2020, what are we dealing with? TMC. So much choice. They did a great experiment. In a supermarket. You know, you go to Costco, and it's like free food samples. They always have. And people like get obsessed with that. A free cookie. Oh my God. This is the best thing ever, right? And all the Jewish people grab a cookie and they walk around the aisle, come back for a second, and they're like, did I see you before? No. It's my twin brother, right? Second cookie, third cookie, woo, right? They did an experiment with a jam. You can look this up. I put this in my book. With jam, they put out 30 different types of jam, of jelly, you know? And people could try it. And they found that like 80% of the people who walked past these 30 jams or jellies tasted them. But only like 5 or 10% ended up buying. The next day, they reduced the amount of 30 jams to like 7 or 6 jams. And they found that very few people stopped to try from that selection. But whoever did stop and try the jam or jelly, 80% bought. The amount of people who bought was much higher when the selection was low. So this is one of the challenges that we have with so much selection. And this is just the way it is. I don't have too much to say about it, but at least we need to be aware. We need to be aware of what we are dealing with when it comes to the amount of selection that we have. But there is something we can do. And I speak a lot about this. People get upset with me. But my friends, I'm not PC. I'm AC. I'm not politically correct. I'm absolutely correct. This multiple dating disease has got to stop. First of all, it's cruel. But second of all, it's not even good for you, for your own mental health. Right? People, I mean, who are you dating? I'm not dating. I'm seeing a few people. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. When you're seeing a few people. Actually, now I do know what it means. I'm not going to say it in public. You know what it means. But it's not healthy. It's not fair. Right? This multiple dating where you got 2, 3, 4, 5 girls or guys, right, on rotation until one just comes out. It's not fair to them because as far as they're concerned, they're the only one. But it's also not good for you. You need to have one and focus on it. Let me say it like this. This may sound insane to you, but just go with me. You find that one person and you date them. That is the person you are going to marry until you break up or get married. Say that again. The person you're dating in your mind is, I'll marry this person. Imagine that. Imagine getting in life like, I'm going to marry this person until, I'm not going to. Or you end up under the chuppah. It's going to be one or the other. That we know for sure. And that's the way to be, because this constant distraction of guys and girls on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all being thrown at us is discombobulating. You need to focus, pick one person, and remove yourself from all these other people until you're able to just focus on this one individual. Another tip, since we're talking of great habits, I had a friend of mine who was dating a girl. He was very young. He was like 19, 20, but he was a serious guy. And during the date, he thought it went very well. He spoke to the girl who set them up after the date, and she's like, she doesn't want to see you again. He's like, why not? It was a great date. It went really, really well. I really want to see her again. So he says, well, she got very embarrassed during the date. It's like, why? She goes, well, at some point she fell down and tripped, and her skirt jumped up a little bit, and she got so embarrassed she can't see you again. And he's like, oh my God, it was like nothing. What's the big deal? She's like, no, she felt so embarrassed she'd rather not date you again. And they both carried on dating, and they went their separate ways. This guy was in his late 30s, and he dated like every Jewish girl you can imagine. Tons of them. He was on a date with a girl, and he was talking to her, and they were schmoozing, and they were getting on great. They had a lot in common, and he's like, wow, I wish I would have met you a long time ago. And she's like, yeah. And they were talking more. And then she's like, you look familiar to me. And he's like, really? He goes, yeah. She goes, many years ago, I went on a date and I fell over. I got very, very embarrassed. And he's like, that was me. That was me. And they met up, and within like 4 or 5 dates, at that age, they knew, and they got engaged, and they got married. And I tell you this story for a number of reasons. First of all, look, timing is everything. And sometimes the timing is above us. Could they have got married in 1920? I don't know. I'm not God. Hashem has a time for everything. There's a time to be single, time to get married. Also, I know many people who get married young and it's the wrong shidduch. People who get married in their late 30s and it's the right shidduch. I have very close family members who had to wait, and Baruch Hashem, it comes. It's Hashem's time. We don't know when your zivug could actually arrive. You got to have faith. You got to have emunah and bitachon and trust that the right person is going to come at the right time. Just because you think you found your soulmate doesn't mean you're guaranteed to have a successful marriage. I'll say that again. Just because you found your soulmate, oh my God, we have so much in common, right? We have friends in common, and we both went on vacation at the same place, and your dog is the same name as my dog, and we have the same psychiatrist. Who would have thought? It's just amazing. We're meant to be. It's not a guarantee for success. If you don't put in the effort, you don't put in the giving, you don't jump into the Yam Suf, it's not going to work. Right? We learn this from Esav. Esav was meant to marry Leah. That was his beshert, his zivug. His soulmate was Leah. Think about that. Yaakov was meant to marry Rachel. 2 older sisters, 2 older brothers. What happened? Actually, some say Rachel and Leah are actually twins, just like Yaakov and Esav were. What happened? Esav said, no. She made me my zivug, my beshert, but I want to marry out of the faith and leave the family and get out. Terrible decision, which is why Yaakov, ended up having to marry 2 sisters, which is not something we're allowed to do. Now, this was before the Torah was given, so it was permitted. Right? But since then, not allowed. Actually, it was so taboo that even Yaakov could only be buried with one wife, with Leah, and Rachel had to be buried elsewhere. So people wouldn't say, wow, Jacob married sisters? Unusual. Yeah? You don't know where your zivug is, and if you did find your zivug, it still takes incredible work to find that clarity. Okay, let's summarize everything we said, and then we'll finish, because I've spoken for a long time. It's enough, right, Rabbi? Dayenu. Number 1, find common goals. Find someone you have something compatible with, right? What's my vision? Where do I want to be? And the way to do that is to get to know each other with questions. This group dating disease and hanging out is not good enough. And virtual dating is good to maintain a relationship, but not to attain it. Okay? This whole not social media, virtual dating, whether it's a phone or Zoom. I mean, now we're kind of stuck, right? But in long distance relationships, you can maintain something, but you're not going to attain and create a relationship that way. It's not going to move forward. You're looking for your basar achad. How do you get to that point? Being ezer kenegdo, right? Being your ezer kenegdo, coming against you, okay? You're there in a relationship to improve yourself. That's what we're looking for. That's the ultimate goal. The person who's going to help me become me. That is what we're looking for. Work on yourself, not on your partner. We said TMC, too much choice. Narrow it down. Okay, when you're dating someone, try to remove yourself as much as possible from every other option. Someone's like, I got a great girl for you. Like, hold on. If this thing doesn't work, I'll come back to you. Right now, I may have found the one. Even if you're not so sure. By the way, always give it a second date if you can. If you can. Right? The reason you go out the first time is so the second time isn't the first time. First time dates aren't so amazing. People embarrassed and stupid, blah, blah, blah. Say silly things. Give it a second chance if you can. And what's love? Being a giver. Okay, I've spoken for a long time, my friends. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you want the notes from this talk, you're more than willing to see it, or find my Facebook page. Rabbi Lawrence Hajioff in this class will be there, so you can go through it again and show it to your boyfriends, your girlfriends, to say, you see what you're meant to be doing for me? This is what you have to be. Okay? It's a pleasure. Thank you, Sarah B. and Esther and Rabbi Rutenberg, for allowing me to be on this Zoom call with all of you. I wish you all the blessing of finding your zivug, your soulmate, very, very soon.
Thank you, Rabbi Hajioff.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Amazing. Okay, Esther, can you explain to all of us exactly what we're going to do? I just want to tell everybody with the game, please don't leave because you were going to play the game. The first prize is going to be $75 Amazon gift card. Second prize will be $50 Amazon gift card. The third prize winner is going to be a $25 Amazon gift card. And everyone on the chat right now is going in a raffle. And you will get $50 to whoever wins. Welcome, Rabbi Kigel, who just joined us. So just please make sure, Esther, everybody has to put their name, right? Okay, so can everybody switch their names? Because a lot of people have just iPhone or EB, or Galaxy. If you could switch to your names, that way we'll know who you are. So when you win the prize, we could give it to you. Like Luba, anyone that just has like their name and no last name, put your name and last name so that we could give you the gift when you win. Esther, can you explain to us exactly what we should be doing?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Esther. I'm going to be sending a link on the chat, and everyone's going to choose the link. It's not a quiz. It's like a game show more kind of feel. I hope you get a lot of laughs and giggles. Basically, they're going to be questions, and they're going to be multiple choice answers. You're going to have 30 seconds to answer them. Basically, it goes from 30 seconds and counts down. So the faster you answer, the more points you get. So like, don't like think like, is it A, is it B? I'm not sure. Quickly choose an answer. You'll get more points. Trust me. I play this game, and like, if you're faster and you get things wrong, you'll still get more points. So whoever has good Wi-Fi, you're good. Basically, there are 15 questions, and they're not hard. 2 of them are from what Rabbi Hajioff spoke about, and a lot of them are just like fun and like funny and like what not to do on a date, what to do on a date, like certain things we all know. So like I'm going to share the link, and everyone's going to press it and put in also your correct name to the link. So that I see the ranking, like when I see like who won, I could actually see your name and not like, I don't know, like SSS or like so-and-so or something.
Amazing, Esther. So actually, Rabbi Hajioff is still on the call, and he could take a few questions before we start the game. The game will start by 9, so that's just in a few minutes. Rabbi Hajioff, you're here?
Yes. I don't have a social life, Sarah. I'm here all night.
Rabbi, I thought you had to go. That's why I didn't ask about, because I thought you had another thing after. That's why I didn't ask you if anyone could do questions. Does anyone have a question for a Rabbi? You could unmute yourself or private message me a question, and I could ask him.
I have a question. So right now they have like virtual dating, like sort of long distance, correct? Even though if we speak to each other like every day, getting to know each other, like commonality, and we can't see each other because we're stuck in one country to another country? What's another approach for it?
Yeah, I know. I hear. These are unusual circumstances. I gave a whole talk just on virtual dating, actually. I'll give you my opinion. This is my opinion. You got to do what you got to do. In other words, you got to meet people, and you've got to. Dating has to be live, because dating is a real thing. You got to be. Marriage isn't this virtual thing, but I understand the situation we're in, and if you got to do I know people are doing speed dating via Zoom and getting to know each other. You got to do what you got to do. You got to meet up as soon as possible. If you don't think there's a chance you meet up in the next couple of months, don't do it. If there's a good chance in the next few weeks you'll be able to meet up, you've got to meet up live. You're not going to build a real relationship in this form, but I understand you want to at least get something. What you should not do, a dangerous game to play, is to, and I've seen so many people make this mistake, keep doing this social media virtual dating thing, and then WhatsApp each other like 5 times a day, and text each other, right? And send voice messages without even knowing each other, day after day. You're building a fake relationship, and excuse the word, but I don't just mean this physically. You're building like a fantasy of who that person is.
Okay, I understand the concept, but where he lives right now, the border is not open.
Wow,
and where I am, the border is not open. No, it's just like there's no flight there. No, in France.
He's in
France.
No
flights.
I understand. So it's okay to at least build up some connection.
Okay.
But don't overdo it.
Yeah, okay, we understand.
Overdo it, because someone else could come along and take it from you, or it could take a long time. So just don't overdo it. Put down seeds, you know what? And just so you can get to know each other. And by the way, when the border opens again, we should continue this. Do not be like every day bombarding each other with photos and questions and stuff. It's not healthy. It's not good for you mentally.
Okay,
Rabbi, I got a question.
Yeah.
What is the typical, like, how much do you have to know the person, or how long does it take for one person to actually date one in order to get married, or in order to be ready for marriage?
Thank you so much, Stephen. Stephen, it's a great question. I get asked this pretty much more than anything else. The answer is, you ask anyone who's been married a long time, in a good marriage, I'm talking 5, 10, 15 years, and say, did you know each other under the chuppah right before you got married? And they'll be like, no, now I know them. There's no correlation, I know it sounds crazy, between long dating and good marriage. If that was true, we'd all date for 5 years and get married for 5 years, because that's going to be the solution. But we know that's not true, right? There is no. You want to establish certain basic facts. There's certain questions you want answered. You're looking for midot, characteristics, of which there's a number of questions. I put them in my book. You can find them online. I'll send them to you if you want, of things to get to know each other. If you're a mature, self-aware person who is emotionally open, 6 months is plenty of time to really know the person. After that, that's all well and good, right? But that is plenty of time to really get to know someone well in order to date them. 6 months is sufficient. More than that, okay, you've got to plan engagement and wedding, and maybe he's got to finish college and blah, 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 blah. I understand. But don't think if you date a year, your marriage is going to be better. Or 2 years, that's a great marriage. 5 years, oh, that's the best one. 6 months is plenty of time. Unless you're Hasidic, and a couple of dates will do it. But you know what? Divorce in that community as well, unfortunately, is also rife. So it's quality, not quantity, when it comes to dating. Don't drag it on. You're wasting each other's time.
Rabbi, I have a question.
Thank you so much, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, so I often run into guys that have commitment fear. Can you hear me well?
You break up
Actually,
a little
can
bit.
everybody else put themselves on mute? So when you have a question, you could unmute yourself?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I often run into guys that have commitment fears, and I was just wondering whether you would be able to give me some red flags to look out for when it comes to that.
I have a list of red flags. I'll send you this of red flags to look out for. It depends on the person. Some people, it's money. Some people, it's parents, right? You're a girl, so I'll talk about guys. I could pick on the girls too, but let's pick on the guys right now. A lot of guys, and actually I have a Reuters report on this over here, are scared of getting married because if they get divorced, they're going to lose their money. There's a lot of fear among men when it comes to money. And that's not solved when you're under the chuppah. That's going to take time, months, sometimes years, dealing with parents, a lot of boys and girls. But a lot of boys, I actually had a conversation with someone today, a principal of a school, I'm not kidding you, near my home. We're dealing with a case of a girl and a guy who the guy is just connected to his parents that could never detach. Could never detach. The Torah itself says you have to leave your parents. Tazov es imo. It's not easy, right? All these boys have become mummy's boys, right? And they can't detach from their parents. These are red flags. There's a lot of red flags, but there's different types. Some of them are red flags that you pull, and some can be worked on. Some can be worked on. You know, some things you go for counseling. Everyone needs to go for premarital counseling. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your parents are. I don't care how rich they are. A big rabbi, counselors, therapists, it makes no difference. Right? 99% of people need some kind of counseling and therapy before they actually get married. And a lot of things which you may think are red flags and deal breakers are not. They could just be bad traits that could be worked on. Right? There's room for improvement. Right? No one's perfect. So I hear you. There are red flags, but you need an outside party to identify whether it's a deal breaker or just something that can be worked with. But money, I found, is becoming a big one, unfortunately. A big one. And by the way, when I say money, I don't mean poor people. I know people who are worth millions. Actually, I'm close to a few billionaires, and they struggled hard in their marriages. Right? I know people who don't have two pennies to rub together with fantastic marriages. So having a lot of money isn't a solution to a good marriage.
Rabbi, someone has a question. What do you think of? You know what? I'm gonna put everyone on mute, and you unmute yourself when you want to ask a question. Okay, great. Someone asked the question, what do you think of prenup?
Of what?
Of a prenup?
A prenup. Okay. I've been asked a number of times to do them. I'm okay with them. I really am. And it may sound a bit like, wow, we're preparing for divorce and money afterwards. If that's what the couple needs, and that's going to put them in a safe place, and they both agree to it, and that's the assumption, then it is understandable, and as long as it's fair. I mean, yeah, I got to figure that out, but I'm not against them. I'm not against them. I'm not against the get prenup, and I'm not against the financial one. I know couples. I did a wedding of a Russian girl to a guy. Actually, you know what? They weren't even that rich. I don't know why they did it. They did a prenup, and still very happily married. And it's a little bit that's what the parents need, but it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, one last question. Anyone else has a question?
Wow, we have all the answers we need. That's great.
Rabbi, because you gave such a perfect, amazing lecture. It was just like you answered everything. So it was like on point.
Rabbi, it's not a question. It's not a question. I just wanted to say hello and I miss you. And I still remember.
Oh, Tan, I see you a long time, my friend.
It's been too long, my friend. It's a pleasure seeing you. I still remember when I was carrying your daughter in Israel 12 years ago. Time flies.
You couldn't carry her now.
You look great. You sound great. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Steve Blatt. So much. Hey. Wow. Jewish heroine. Yeah, sure.
You're the last question. Go ahead.
What if the boy can't commit yet, but he's not willing to let go yet?
Let go. Yeah. This is, that's the topic I spoke about for the past hour. This is a challenge. What I have done many times is you put down a date. There was a girl who used to work with me. Her name was Shelly. I speak about it publicly. And she was dating. They were working together. Met a guy called Rob, who was a rabbi. And they just kept dating and dating. And everyone, like everyone knew they needed to be married, but they just couldn't commit for whatever reason. And I sat with them in the airport after finishing a trip with both of them. And I said, so what we're going to do. We're going to put a line in the sand. A line in the sand. And you could pick 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. And this is your date. At this point, you're either engaged or you break up and never see each other again. Now, when I say break up, I mean totally break up. Talk about defriending on Facebook. Yup, I know, I said it. Right? A total breakup. You put a line in the sand and you stick with it. It's the only way. You got to put the fire under the feet. You got to put a proverbial gun to his or her head. And if you don't do it by this date, we are done. Khalas. That's what you need to do. You've got to put some tough love. Otherwise, and I've said this so many times with couples, and they've said, no, it can't be. I say, we're going to be sitting here in 1 year's time having the same conversation. Like, come on, Rabbi. It's not possible, because I'm telling you, if you don't put down a date now that you're going to get engaged or break up, you're going to just keep going on because it's comfortable. It's comfortable. Just keep going and dating, having a good time. You've got to put it down. So that's what needs to happen. Don't be scared to do it. And make them sign a piece of paper. And have a third party that's going to be there and make it like a drug intervention.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Rabbi, just one question, and then I think we should start. But I think this is a very broad and hard question to answer. But someone wanted to know if you could give a list of red flags.
Sure, I can. Well, first of all, shameless plug. A lot of them can be found in my book, Would You Marry Me? Is that backwards? I think it is actually. But you get
it's
it.
perfect.
It's available on Amazon, right? Or you can email me. I send you a copy, right? It's a good book. Has a lot of the information we discussed. It's 20 years of dealing with this stuff. But I have notes as well. You can email me at the email I put down, rl@rabbilawrence.com. I'll put it again, and I'll be happy to send you the notes. And there's a list in there as well, which I'm happy to share with you. It is a mitzvah. That's why I wrote it, Lawren. See, I forgot to spell my name. I'm not even drunk yet. Oh, I just sent it to one person. I sent it to everyone. Sorry. Okay, so you can email me. Happy to send you the notes from this class. There's a lot we didn't cover because I needed a few hours to that. So much more to say. But God willing, I'll come back. I'll be happy to answer more of your questions, go much deeper into this topic with all of you. Okay, now I got to go. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah B. Thank you, Esther. Love you all. Shalom, shalom.
Are we ready for the first question?
Yes, guys, I'm pressing play. Everyone get ready. And start.
Okay. What should you not say on a first date? Truthfully, my mother made me go on this date. B, have you ever weighed yourself? C, I don't like children. D, there's nothing like good food on a bad date. Or E, all of the above. Which should you not say?
E, all of the above.
Don't yell at the answer.
Guys, don't yell at the answer. If you do, you're disqualified. Thank you.
Okay, if you yell out the answers, we will erase you from the Zoom.
You guys, I see that there are 63 players and 49 only answered. Is everyone getting the gist of it, how it works? Is everyone cool with it? Because I'll show the right answer now.
Only 49 people answered?
Only 49. And guys, only 86 of you thought, 86% thought it was all the above. 4% thought there's nothing like good food on a bad date. So does that make it acceptable to ask, have you weighed yourself? Excuse them all.
Are you sure this is a singles group? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Number 2. Which is one of the best ideas to take on a date? A, have an open mind. B, it won't work out. C, he, she won't like me. D, he, she must impress me. What is the best idea to come onto the date with?
What has been your most successful dates, guys? What does everyone feel like it is? And the answer is have an open mind. Guys, 100% of you got that right. Woohoo!
Well, you know what?
Wow.
Way to redeem yourself, everybody. I think the picture gave them the clue, though, Esther.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see how they do on the third question, because it's getting harder. Okay, we are ready. How should one dress on a date?
It's
Nope,
according
that's
to
not
Rabbi
it.
Hajioff, which
No.
body of water is
Never mind.
connected to
According to
dating.
Rabbi Hajioff, which body of water is connected to dating? Niagara Falls, Yam Suf, the Dead Sea, or the Kinneret? Good question.
I think it's Niagara Falls. I've been to Canada. That place is beautiful.
Right. Is it open?
Good question. Road trip?
Esther, are more people able to do the game right now?
Are more people, what does that mean?
Well, you said only 49 people, so I'm saying.
Yeah, so we have 56 guys, so you figured it out. Whoever was having trouble, I'm glad you guys figured
Genius.
it out.
Because there's about 69 of us. Guys, I hope you know that like you can click it on your phone even though the screen is showing it. You have to
Oh, yeah.
You have to go through the app. So click the link that Esther or myself posted, and just you don't have to be on the Zoom app to hear us. So you could do it from your Safari or Google or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to see Rabbi Kegel's beautiful face. Like you could just go on the app and you're fine.
I can't believe I'm competing with the game. Okay.
Okay, ready?
I look good from some Zoom angles. Okay, hold on. I got to make sure I'm coordinated here. We're ready for question 4.
Okay.
How should one dress on a date? Pajamas, swimwear, tux or ball gown, dressy casual, untied tie look.
Guys, someone said tux or ball gown. Sorry. Has anyone, fess up, who was born a tux or ball gown on the first date? Anyone? No? I guess nobody wants to fess up.
Well, if you're Bukharian, you could wear one and come with flowers to the front door.
You know what? Touche.
And it works. Okay, how should one dress?
96% of you.
If you work out.
What was that?
Yiki's being funny. I put him on mute.
Sorry, my family also doesn't behave always in the background. I have to like push them.
Well, Yiki says if you work out swimwear, but I have to put him on mute for that one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So by the way, speed also matters in this game. Okay, next. What name should you call the other person on a first date? Your
ex name, your mom / dad's name, his / her name, or D, your sibling's name.
Guys, I'm really happy about your answering skills. Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, 100% of you got this right. You.
amazing.
Rabbi Giggle, Yigi says that's a trick question because me and Yigi's mom have the same name.
Oh, that's hard.
Wow. Yes, that's true.
Fun
True,
stuff,
true.
guys.
Okay, question number 6.
Okay, 1 second. Okay.
According to the Torah, you marry someone like your neighbor, your mother / father, or your doctor.
You're a mailman. Right,
Yeah.
Kiko, we got lots of Persian,
I said it,
American.
everyone. I translated because it's a Russian joke.
I don't know who my mailman is.
Right. But for the people who aren't Russian, it's not funny. See, but Sharyon is funny because, like, if you don't know what the kid looks like in Russian, say it looks like the mailman.
Oh, got it.
All
I think
but it
there's
sounds
also
funny.
in
I
America.
think that's like in every
Yeah.
country, whatever. That is a horrible thing to say, but that is actually really funny.
Right.
Like it's like whose kid is it? The mailman.
Right.
Yeah.
But Sharyon, all right. Did they have male women? I'm like all for equal opportunity.
Yeah, female women.
Of course
I've
they
never
do.
seen a male woman.
I
Okay. All right, Esther, just to get things livened up a little bit here and give the people some chizuk, what does the fourth place contestant have? How many points does the fourth place contestant have?
Ooh, the fourth placement has 496. So if you guys have below that, you got to get like your finger tapping skills on. I don't know what you got to do. You got to exercise that finger index.
And if you have above that, keep it up.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for question 7.
Okay.
What should you ask on a first date? Do you know how to cook and clean? What are some random fun facts about you? About their past relationships, or how much money do you make?
I had to come up with that question because it was just too good.
Guys, Sarah and I were like laughing on the phone. We were like,
wait. Esther, we had so much fun. We should actually totally
I would say all of the above.
Oh no, Reverend Kingle.
I think maybe your wife would disagree with you. I'm speaking too lightly.
But I don't know. Okay. Well, I got married. I was unemployed. So, and my wife didn't cook. So we were doing pretty good. Okay.
Okay, for all the people that are just joining, let me just send a link. You could still join and have fun. This is the link to the game. Just click the link and join the fun.
People are joining now. What is this? Like a Bahrain wedding? We called it for 8 o'clock. It's 9:15.
Listen. It's called Emmett time.
If you're joining now, you're not mathematically eliminated because we do have a raffle.
Yeah.
However, the raffle does require some questions to be answered.
Ooh, a Kegel plot twist.
That's right. Okay. Radiant, it's great to see you smiling.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Next, hold on, let me get to the question page. What guideline for Perkiavo can we utilize for a successful date? The reward is in the proportion to the difficulty. Greet everyone with a pleasant disposition. Never talk to the opposite gender. If not now, aim aside.
Ooh, I see this one was tricky and I didn't expect it to be. My bad.
That's a trick question. It actually doesn't say never talk to the opposite gender. It says just don't talk too much to ladies.
Right? So I was being tricky there.
Right, okay.
Okay, guys, the answer is B. Greet everyone with a pleasant disposition. I hope everyone does that. If not, now's the perfect time.
Amazing. Wow.
Can everybody please make sure you put your name and last name, because there's a lot of iPhones, and the iPhones you can't go in the raffle to win because we won't know who you are. So if you're still iPhone, all you have to do is where it says participants, click the participant, click on your name, and just change your name from iPhone to name and last name.
And Esther, are you still drawing the raffle out from a hat?
Sort of. Let's go to 21st century, and it's not out of a hat, it's out of my phone. But yeah.
All right. Okay, amazing. Okay, we're ready for the famous question number 9.
Famous question number 9.
What word for love in Hebrew, the word for love in Hebrew is ava. According to Rabbi Hajioff, what else does that mean? Niagara Falls. No, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Infatuation. That was a joke. Infatuation, taking, giving, or doormat. I think Niagara Falls is probably better.
Ooh, either not everyone was there when Rabbi Hajioff was speaking, or not everyone listened. Not sure which one. I'll have to give the benefit of the doubt.
Can't get one wrong.
Got that one wrong? Okay. You might still be in it if you're fast.
Okay. Here we go. Excellent. Esther, what is the 6th place person? How many points does the 6th place person
Rabbi,
have?
I started the next question, so.
Oh, okay, fine. It would be cringeworthy if your date said this: I've never dated someone less attractive than me before. Do you mind if I put your date on Facebook, our date on Facebook Live? Can we FaceTime my mother? I don't think I'm over my ex yet, or all of the above.
Who came up with this question?
I did.
That is so funny.
We kind of came up. It was fun. It was fun.
Guys, I had so many laughs today.
I want to ask Yiggy if Sarah on the first date asked, "Do you mind if I put our date on Facebook Live?"
Yiggy said I took a million pictures on the first date, and I totally did. What was your question, Rabbi?
No, I was wondering if you on the first date asked if you mind if I put our date on Facebook Live.
No, but I took pictures. That's worse.
Sarah was an amazing questionnaire. She said, "I love your kippah. Do you wear one all the time?"
Amazing. That's right for my wife.
That's like that's the most
Arsenal. Okay. Amazing. All right, Esther, these are such good questions. You can tell Esther's been on a lot of, on 1 or 2 dates at least. Okay.
1 or 2.
Okay. All right, here we go. The next question. The goal of dating in Judaism is experience, more dating, breakup, marriage, or practice. Sorry, that was E.
Yeah, did you put practice in there?
Practice makes perfect. Or not.
Experience, more dating, breakup, or marriage.
Well, till it's your spouse, it's practice.
Marriage.
Yeah, but it's not your goal. Like, nobody goes on a date and be like, "This is going to be good practice." You're like, "I hope this is the one." Yeah.
Well, you don't know. Some people.
Okay. Well,
We got 80 people on. Everyone has
normalities.
their own ideas. Did everyone get that one right?
Did everyone get that one right? Yeah, 100%. Nice.
All right. What a
beautiful.
This crowd. I'm gonna give this crowd a bracha. You should all get married this year.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Next.
And a real wedding, not a Zoom wedding. Everyone's gonna have a wedding.
What is the one must on a date? Smile 24/7. Don't cross your arms. Don't have your phone out. Plan your whole future.
I realized I should have made this question more to my audience because a lot of people are saying the wrong answer. Yeah. Guys, what would an Ashkenazi girl say, maybe? How do we phrase that?
I mean, that's like everybody, though. That's actually a true thing.
A lot of people said they'll smile 24/7. Guys, you don't have to smile 24/7. I've been on dates where I don't enjoy what the
it's
guys
kind of
say.
cliche because nowadays everybody's on their phone and normally it's like more of a smiling.
Well, right now, if you have a date, it's going to be on your phone. So
that's
what we're holding.
It's kind of an all of an
Okay,
above.
Michelle A. confirmed it. No phone out. Okay, Esther, right now with 3 questions left, where is the 10th place person holding?
Okay, the 10th place holding is at 905 points. So if you guys are above that, you're doing
Wow,
good.
all right. So basically, almost no one is mathematically eliminated. Okay, let's go. Question 13. What does Beshert mean? Matchmaker, soulmate, Jewish Valentine's Day, or dating? Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a catch. I think we got 100% of this one.
Yeah.
It's that type of crowd.
And the answer is soulmate. Dun-dun-dun.
Were we 100% for that?
We were not. We were 87%.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't know it now, you know it.
All right, well, a lesson has been learned. Okay, next. What is a new way of dating that was introduced in the 23rd century that is very popular? speed dating, blind dates, meeting people in everyday life, or online dating?
Meeting people in everyday life is
20th
stalking.
century.
But what was that?
He says
I remember
meeting
speed
people,
dating from the 20th century. In the 1990s, that was popular.
meeting people in everyday life is totally stalking from Yiggy.
And the answer is
Every day.
online dating. Okay, this is
Last
getting exciting. The last question, and the
Okay.
last, probably not the last question because we do have the raffle question, but the last answer. Okay?
Okay, everyone ready? Tension build up.
Last but not least, Esther thought of almost all of them, mostly based on her past dates.
Okay, and next.
What should you not ask on a first date? How much money do you make? About his or her past relationships? Didn't we have this?
Yeah.
That's okay. Your name, you seem great, so why are you single? Or all of the above. We'll give him another chance.
The questions were slightly different. The answers
Okay.
might recycled.
You seem great, so why are you single? That sounds like a nice, like some cultures, that's the right thing to say.
No, no, Rabbi. Okay, the answer was all of the above. And
All right.
93%. Some people thought that I guess it's permissible to say you seem great and why are you still single, and the thing you should not ask is how much money you make.
No, that's because that's what the Buddha would say.
Got it.
And that's what grandma says. Oh, you seem so great. Why are you single? Okay.